Hi everybody, thank you for watching. So today's video is going to be my makeup monthly from the month of August. I know, I always do these so late and I'm so sorry, but it is going to be my makeup monthly today. I'm going to be talking about some of my favorites, my fails, and the products that I thought were just okay that I was testing out in the month of August. If you're ready to see some of my thoughts on makeup that I was testing out in the month of August, why don't we go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with the fine category. So these were a few items that I thought were just okay. First up, I'm going to be starting with the Subculture Palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I do have a full review video on this palette. I was one who I did not mind this palette. It didn't turn into a favorite for me, but I didn't return it. Still holding it. I still think it works just fine. I reached for it several times. I continue to reach for it. I think the shades in here are super unique. It's definitely tricky to work with these shadows, but not anything that I couldn't get the hang of. I feel like I'm creating looks just fine with this palette and I'm having a good time with it. I'm keeping mine. Again, it's just not my favorite palette. I definitely don't think it's a palette for everybody, for sure. But if you want to get my full thoughts, I'll have that video down below. But the Subculture Palette from Anastasia, I thought was pretty good. And then I have 3 lip products to talk about next. So next up, I want to talk about these Avon lipsticks. Avon sent me an insanely amazing package. Actually a 3-drawer, like acrylic drawer, and even had my name on it. It was the coolest thing. It was full of Avon lipsticks. It seriously was the coolest thing. So I've been trying out some of these Avon lipsticks and I would not be able to classify them as my favorites, but I also don't think like they were terrible or the worst lipstick ever. They are a regular lipstick formula, so this one is called Tender Kiss. So that's what it looks like, and I'll just do a swatch so you can see it here. So that one is Tender Kiss from Avon. I noticed that all of the lipsticks, well, I haven't tried every single one of them on my lips, but the majority of the lipsticks that they sent, they have kind of like almost like a little bit of sparkle to them. The other one that I grabbed out was in Blush Nude, and I'll do a swatch of that one too. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but each of them just kind of have a certain sheen to them. Like they're not really glittery, but they have just a bit of sparkle to them. I noticed that with almost every single one of the lip glosses that I've tried from what Avon sent me. I think that they're really nice. They're very creamy on the lips. They feel really good, but I did notice that they fade extremely quickly. I was wearing one of the colors when I filmed a video, and it was one of those instances where I got done filming and like the entire middle part of my lip had already worn away, and I am just not used to that. So if I would have just looked at myself quickly while I was filming, I could have done a touch up, but I didn't even realize it. So by the end of the video, my lipstick looks pretty crummy, but that is, you know, pretty common with more of a traditional lipstick. They do wear away easily, but they're also super easy to reapply, whereas liquid lipsticks can be a bit harder to do. So while I didn't think this was, you know, my absolute favorite, most amazing lipstick, I do think they're really pretty and they do feel really nice on the lips, and they had a huge variety of shades to choose from. Next up, I want to talk about the MAC lip glasses. I also received an amazing PR package from MAC. A couple months back. It was one of the more overwhelming packages I've received, and it was pretty crazy, but I was really excited because inside they had a variety of their lip glasses, and I had never tried those. This is like MAC's lip glosses, and I have come to realize that I actually really like these. In particular, is called Candy Box. So this is what the packaging looks like, and I mean, it's a pretty standard lip gloss, but I thought it was actually like really decently pigmented. So this is Candy Box right there. It has some really decent pigment to it. I've really been loving Candy Box. It continues to sit on my desk because a lot of times I'm putting it over lipsticks. I was just mentioning in one of my recent Get Ready With Me videos that I have a couple of nude lipsticks that are just like way too nude, like almost like the concealer lips on me, and I kept reaching for this Candy Box because it has that nice pink lip gloss to it where it's giving me that glossy look, but then it's adding just a little bit more color back into my lips. So this one has been sitting on my desk. I'm not a huge lip gloss person. I don't gravitate towards them a ton. So I really wouldn't be able to consider it a favorite. I don't wear these alone myself. I'm always wearing them over a lipstick, but I still thought that they were pretty nice. So I wanted to mention them because if you really love lip glosses, I feel like you would really enjoy these, and I have really been liking them. I thought they were pretty darn decent. And then the last product I want to mention is a liquid lipstick. This is from Makeup Forever. This is one of their, what are they called? The Artist Liquid Matte Lipsticks. Mine is in the shade 103. I picked mine up from Sephora. I got this off a recommendation from Jaclyn Hill. She had a video once. I don't even know if it was I think it was a favorites. And she mentioned all of these different nude lipsticks in there, and she talked about the Makeup Forever formula and how much she loved it. So I went out and purchased one, and I wasn't as impressed as I thought maybe I would be. I still think it's nice. I still kept it. I think this was $20 or just above $20. Everything will be linked down below. I didn't return it or anything because I still thought it was decent. It just didn't blow me away like I maybe expect it to. So this one is what the 103 from Makeup Forever looks like. I think I just didn't like it because it ended up being more drying than I expected it to be. I know that liquid lipsticks are drying, but I feel like there's a lot of liquid lipstick formulas coming out right now that are not as drying and are still really long lasting. It also did flake pretty bad on my lips. Like this was one that, again, after filming a video, I had to go back in and retouch up my lips because I was like, oh no, like where did my lipstick go on the inner part of my lips? So it's not a complete fail for me, and like I said, I'm not going to return it. I'll keep it around and I'll continue to wear it, but this is one where I always will have to wear a lip liner underneath and fill in my entire lips because it does start to wear away pretty quickly, and I like to have that lip liner color underneath, so when this starts to wear away, it's not just like boom, my bare lip, and then it looks really weird. So not my favorite, not a complete fail. It was just alright. So moving on to the fail category, I only have 2 products, so that is pretty good. If you watched my full face first impressions follow-up video, I actually did mention both of these in there, but the first one unfortunately is from Morphe Brushes. I really do enjoy Morphe as a brand. I like a lot of their products, but unfortunately their concealer did not work out for me at all. I actually mentioned this one too in my least favorite products from my favorite brands video. I'll link that one down below. And like I said, I enjoy a lot of items from Morphe, but the concealer did not work. It is a very, very drying formula, like right away. You put it on and you got like 5 seconds to blend that out, otherwise it's gonna dry and look very strange on your eye. But it also just was kind of, I don't even feel like it was a heavy concealer, but I feel like once it did dry, it looked heavy on my skin. It didn't necessarily feel it, or it like wasn't full coverage, but it just looked very cakey and heavy on my skin. We did not work out the Morphe concealer, unfortunately. And then the other fail that I had was from Ardell. This was their Stroke of Brow Feathering Brow Pen. And no, I could not get a handle on this one. This is what it looks like. It has a very flimsy, felt tip style, and I just could not get the hang of it. I still consider myself very, very new to brows. The only item that I feel like I've really been able to get a handle on is brow pencils. I've tried pomades, I've tried the dip brow, and now I have tried the Stroke of Brow, and I can't get a handle on it yet. I'm not comfortable with anything else other than a pencil, so this one did not work for me either. I will not be trying out the Stroke of Brow anymore. I tried it, I was able to give my review, and then now we are done. So unfortunately, these were my 2 fails for the month. Neither one worked for me. So now I'm gonna move over into my favorites. So I have, you know, makeup and beauty and some skincare and even brushes to talk about. I introduced a new section, 2 new sections last month, that in my Makeup Monthly videos, I'm also going to mention a favorite like beauty influencer, and how I was gonna do that was I send out a beauty newsletter about every month, and in there I feature a fellow beauty influencer, and I have their links in there, their social media links, their photo, and then I just have a short interview in there with them too. To feature them because I like to share about my friends. I consider, you know, a lot of these other gals and a lot of these other YouTubers my friends, so it's fun to like kind of like promote each other and share and things like that. So I want to do that going forward, but I have not sent out a newsletter yet this month. I'm a little bit behind. It's actually pulled up on my computer right now. I am working on it, so I don't have anyone to feature yet because I haven't actually sent the newsletter out. So it'll be in next month's video. I'll feature who I put out in my September newsletter because I'm just a little bit behind this month. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, I will have it linked down below. I just have some further makeup reviews in there, standout products. I always feature a fellow beauty blogger, like I said, and then I talk about like some new makeup releases and things like that. There's that, but then the other category that I introduced was I wanted to talk about some of my book favorites from the month. If you do not know, I am a book blogger. I'm also a published author. So I do a ton of book reviews over on my blog, which is Chicklet Plus. plus, and I've been continually getting asked to somehow work books into my videos. So I thought in my makeup monthly I could mention some of my favorite books, the books that I gave 5-star reviews to, which is the highest rating that you can rate books on Amazon. What I'm going to do first is run through the makeup and beauty and skincare, and then once that is done, if you are still interested in hearing about the books, then I will get into that. But if you're only here for the makeup and beauty, I'm going to do that category first, then you can click off if that was the only thing that you want to see if you aren't a big reader. Thank you to all the suggestions and feedback, because I do think that's a really good idea, because when I did it last time I did books and then I finished with makeup and beauty, but I totally understand that this is a beauty channel and a lot of you are coming to see my beauty favorites, so that is how I'm going to do it. So I appreciate the feedback so much. So jumping into some beauty favorites, starting off with skincare in the month of August, and still now the first couple of weeks into September, I'm completely obsessed with this. This is from Pixi Beauty. It is their Peel and Polish. This is what it looks like, and I am just loving it. So back it says it is a radiance revealing enzyme peel. It says natural fruit enzymes exfoliate and polish, lifting away dead skin cells to reveal a more smooth, radiant, and healthy complexion. Let's use 2 to 3 times a week. I typically use this 1 to 2 times a week because I do have sensitive skin. So sometimes if I'm using something like an peel or a very powerful exfoliant, I can only use it the 1 or 2 times a week. Otherwise my skin can kind of react a little bit strangely. I have been really loving this. I enjoy a lot from the Pixi Beauty skincare line. I have tried a lot of their skincare. I'm super lucky to be on the Pixi Beauty PR mailing list, so I've gotten a lot of their skincare to try, and I've been impressed with a lot of it, but this peel and polish I continually keep reaching for. Some more skincare I have is actually a sheet mask. This is from Patchology. This is their Smart Mud No Med Mud Mask. I did a skincare favorites video recently, and I mentioned this, and I actually kind of showed how I apply it and what it looks like on, so I'll have that video linked down below. And I am still just digging this mask because I love like the charcoal mask or the mud mask. They're some of my favorite masks to use because I feel like they're just really kind of like pulling everything out of my skin. If I feel like I'm having, it's usually on the weekends where I feel like maybe I'm lacking in my skincare, I haven't done a lot of sheet mask, I haven't been really like exfoliating and just cleaning my skin, then this is what I'm reaching for, because right here on the back it says it's the neatest way to clear up your complexion and dispose of pore clogging debris. So it really pulls everything out of your pores. And the reason why I like these sheet masks so much is because they are easy and they are not messy. A lot of times with a mud mask or a charcoal mask, you're getting it all over your fingers, and then you're getting it in your hair, and then it's all over your sink, and you're having to clean, and then when you're washing it off and then clear your face, now you have the excess mask also on your towel. Like, it is just kind of a disaster, and I've just always put up with it because I enjoy them. But because this is a sheet mask, it's like a total freaking game changer. I do have a code with Patchology. It is Samantha 25. I'll leave it on the screen and down below, and it would get you 25% off at the Patchology website. I love Patchology sheet masks, and I do recommend them quite a bit. It's not an affiliate code, so I don't make any commission off of it. It's just a discount code for you. But if you love mud masks or charcoal masks, but you don't like the mess of them, I would say try out the sheet mask, because I think they'll be a game changer for you too. I recently did a one brand makeup tutorial using everything from Flower Beauty, and I wanted to pinpoint one product. I know I kept mentioning in that video how much I absolutely love this, but I really want to make sure I hit it home, because this little palette here is just so good. I still cannot stop reaching for it. I love all of the shades in here. This is called their Lift and Sculpt Contouring Palette, and it is in medium to deep. So you have the 3 different shades in here. You have a really nice bronzer, a blush, and then a highlighter. And all 3 are absolutely stunning. The highlight is a beautiful gold. If you love gold highlights, that highlight is gorgeous. But the bronzer and the blush, just this entire palette worked out so well for me, and I continually keep reaching for it. I think it is so gorgeous. So the Lift and Sculpt Contouring Palette from Flower Beauty, I still keep reaching for this one. Moving on, I have 2 foundations to talk about. I have been on a foundation kick recently. Oh, I'm just having the best time trying out different foundations. Oh no, I have like 3 foundation-ish types products. Okay, so the first 2 are actual foundations. This one is from Lancome. This is the Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. This is what it looks like. This is what I have on my face today, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I did receive this from Octoly. Octoly is a site that connects brands and bloggers. You can apply to get products sent to you in exchange for review. I was so thrilled because Lancome agreed to send me this foundation, and I am so freaking impressed. I think it looks so beautiful on the skin. I always get compliments when I wear this. It is such a long wearing foundation. Say up to 24 hours. I don't think I've ever tested the 24-hour claim or really even gotten close to that, but I can put this on in the morning and it can last throughout the entire day. I've been so impressed. My shade is in 320 Bisque Warm is the shade that I have that I think is working out really well for me. But yes, it is long lasting. It looks so good on the skin. It's more of a medium to full coverage, but I think it's more medium, which is exactly where I like my foundations to be. $47. I think the packaging is so beautiful, but I love that. I love the finish. I love the way it looks. I love the coverage. I've just been really digging this Lancome foundation. The other one I have is actually, I got a sample at Sephora. This was one of their like weekly specials, and I was like, you know, I've been hearing a lot about this foundation. If they're gonna give me a sample for free, I'm just gonna go ahead and try it out. It's the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. So this is what my little sample guy looks like, and whoa, have I been impressed with this. This is a full coverage foundation, and I typically do not love full coverage. I just think it looks, I feel like when I wear full coverage, I feel like it looks like I'm wearing foundation. I feel like all the full coverage foundations I've tried, it just looks heavy on my skin. It looks like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, and I just don't gravitate towards that. I do not feel that way with this foundation. The first time I wore it, I immediately went on my Snapchat and was like, guys, I am digging this foundation, and I don't even have it fully on my face yet. Like, I was still blending it out, but I was like, I already can tell. I can already tell that I am just digging it. I could definitely notice that it is very full coverage. With full coverage, I just feel like you're putting on another layer of skin. I don't know how to describe it, but full coverage to me has just always freaked me out for that reason, but it did not look too heavy on my skin. It didn't look like I was wearing a ton of makeup. It didn't cake up on me at all. Very long lasting. It says the Ultra Longwear Foundation. I would agree with that. It is super long lasting. The shade that I picked up is in Buff. This is $48 for a full size, and I would repurchase it. I would 100% repurchase this foundation. The other one that I have that I was like, I'm not really quite sure how to describe this. This is from Urban Decay, and this is their one and done. So Urban Decay sent me a really amazing PR package, which was super exciting. It was the first package that I received from Urban Decay, and inside was this one and done. I honestly had never heard about this. Like, if I'd seen other people talk about it in YouTube videos, then it just kind of went in one ear and out the other, because I was like, one and done, what's that? And I was showing the box on my Snapchat, and so many people were writing in like, I love that one and done. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it, and instantly became obsessed. Continually reached for this. I went on a camping trip in August. This is what I took with me when I knew that I was going to be outside all day, and I didn't want a lot of foundation on, but I still wanted something to smooth out my face and just make my face look better without having a ton of makeup. This is what I was reaching for. I don't know if you guys can tell by looking at it, but you can see that, like, I've been squeezing some product out of this because I've just been really digging it. The shade that I am in right now is medium. So reading from the Sephora website, it says it's supposed to instantly and completely blur imperfections, even out skin tone, and it doesn't look overdone. And I would agree with that. It's like a primer, but with a little bit of a boost. I have just been truly obsessed with this. The Urban Decay one and done. Sold. I have some brushes to talk about. These are from Mota Brushes. These are all from their metallic line. They did send me their metallic line, and I was super stoked. I love brushes. I just did a brush declutter, and that was a very hard day for me. But I was really excited to test these out, and these three I've just been having the best time with. This one is the M05, and this one is what I've been using for bronzer. And then this one is the M03, and this is what I've been using for a contour. I feel like it gets right up in there really easily. And then this other one, I know this might not be like a sexy use or anything. This is called the Super Crease, but this is what I've been using to put like the first shadow all over my eye, like a white shade or a beige or whatever it is, to kind of set my eyelid primer. This is what I just keep reaching for. I think these brushes are super beautiful. I love the metallic feel to them, but I can tell that they're also really good quality. I have washed both of these brushes, and I feel like they are still in really good shape. Sometimes you wash a brush even for the first time and it just kind of like falls apart and you can't get its shape back. These three Moda brushes from the metallic line I've been very impressed with. So this is kind of random, but I have an eyeshadow to talk about, just a single eyeshadow. So this is my Makeup Geek Z palette in here, and the shade that I am currently obsessed with is this one right here in the corner. This one is called Unexpected. This might seem like a really random shade to enjoy, so there's a swatch of it. It's just a really nice, light, like kind of like purple lilac color, and I know it might not seem like much, but I think it is absolutely gorgeous, and I honestly have been using this a lot as a crease color. I think I did a summer makeup tutorial a couple months back. If I can find it, I will link it down below, but I'm using this as a crease color a lot. And typically I go in with like, you know, your standard brown, but I keep reaching for this one in Unexpected. I think it is absolutely stunning. It just gives a really cool, different vibe to the eye look, and I've also used it all over my lid. I thought it was beautiful, and I've also used it as a lower lash line color, and I think it's gorgeous. It's such like a random color, but I still wanted to mention it and point it out because I think it is so beautiful, and I've just continually been reaching for it. If you're gonna pick up any new makeup geek and you wanted some recommendations, check out Unexpected. So the last makeup product that I want to talk about is a lip color. This is from Tarte Cosmetics. This is a little sample guide because I got it in my most recent Sephora Give Me Some Nude lip collection. I do have a giveaway going on for that with 2 winners. I'm not sure. I know it's ending very soon, but I think maybe it's like Tuesday. So I will have that link down below if you haven't entered yet. So this little guy, it is one of their Rainforest like splash lipsticks, color splash lipsticks. It's from their Rainforest of the Sea line. This was in that set, so it's a mini. It is in Rum Punch, and I swatched everything on my lips in that video where I'm doing the giveaway, and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, this color. And then I wore it for 3 days straight. For 3 days straight I wore Rum Punch from Tarte Cosmetics. So this is what the shade looks like. It is absolutely beautiful. It is like that perfect nude pink, my lips but better. Completely obsessed with it. The shade is absolutely gorgeous. I have 2 full size of these lipsticks, and they're some of my absolute favorites. They're very long lasting. They feel very comfortable on the lips though, but if you like those nudie pink shades, you must check out Rum Punch. So that is everything for my makeup and beauty favorites. I'm going to switch over to books now. I only do have 2 books in the month of August that I gave 5 stars to. So if you want to hear about some of the favorite books that I read from the past month and that I would recommend, go ahead and keep watching. If this is where you want to end, then I thank you guys so much for coming by and watching this video. I do appreciate it so much. But the first book that I want to talk about is Girl Last Seen, and the author is Nina Laurin. I believe is how you pronounce her name. I will have links to my review on my blog down below, and then I will also leave a link to Amazon in case you are interested in picking the book up for yourself. I will say with this book, if you cannot handle disturbing situations such as child abuse and sexual abuse and things like that, then do not read this book because it got really, really dark and really, really disturbing. But you kind of know right off the bat that that's going to happen because we get introduced to the story by finding a girl who's been held captive for years, and she's pregnant, and I believe she was 13 at the time that she escaped, and she's pregnant. So you know what's happening in the book. So that's kind of like the factor right away that if you can't handle those types of situations, you need to close the book and move on. And now you're getting her life 13 years later, where she is now, how she has handled after, you know, being kidnapped and all this abuse that she went through. But then comes the twist to the story because now there is another missing girl, and I really don't want to give too much away, but she is somehow involved with that missing girl as well. And I mean, I think I said in my review that this book made me sweat. Like, I was sweating while reading this book, and not just because I was reading it in August and it was hot outside. It is such an intense thriller. There is so many interesting and intricate storylines that go into one another that just honestly blew my mind. And when I got to the end and everything clicked, mind blown. Mind blown. I was like, oh no, that did not just happen. I mean, I couldn't believe it. The writing was fantastic. Again, if you like thrillers, I would recommend this. If thrillers are not your thing, do not read this because there is no part of the story that lets up. There's no part in the story that I could sit back and be like, oh, okay, let's just see what's gonna go on now. Like, you are on the edge of your seat through every single page in here. So Girl Last Seen by Nina Laurin. That was a good one. And then the other one that I want to recommend is Hello Sunshine, and this is by Laura Dave. I really enjoy Laura Dave's books. I've read from her in the past, so I would highly recommend this author and also her latest offering, which is called Hello Sunshine. This book was super intriguing to me because I feel like our main character, Sunshine, is not supposed to be a likable character. She's made a lot of bad decisions. And she's pretty upfront about that. Like, she knows that she's not the best person either, but you can't help but feel a connection with her. And it's interesting because a lot of who she has built herself up to be is on social media. You know, she's this person on social media, but not necessarily in real life. I felt like overall, even though she wasn't very likable all the way through, there was still parts that I found relatable, and I found that very interesting. There's a talk about her YouTube channel in here, which I thought was super fun, so I do recommend this one. This one is much more lighthearted. It's a women's fiction novel. It's, you know, not sort of anything like the other book I just recommended, but it involves, you know, her marriage falling apart, her YouTube career getting exposed, if you will say. And I just thought it was so interesting. Laura Dave is such a solid writer. She brings you in from the very beginning and she keeps you hooked until the very end, and there's a lot of different twists that get thrown at you in this book. There's a lot of family dynamics in here that I thought were very interesting as well, and just overall a completely solid read from beginning to end. So that one is Hello Sunshine by Laura Dave. Alright guys, so after my book recommendations, that is going to do it for my makeup monthly for the month of August. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful in some way. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the video, about any of the products that I mentioned. Everything that I did mention will be listed and linked in the description box as always. And if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. I hope that you will also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys real soon in my next one. Bye!